Welcome to another clone adventure. On this video, we're going to do two trips. The first will be to Bonnie Doon, the second will be to Walhalla. Now don't forget to check in with your local retailers and get the sublimated souvenir shirts of the high country. This monument was erected in 1880 after 3 policemen died in a skirmish with the Ned Kelly gang in 1878 at Stringy Bark Creek. Mansfield began in 1846 as a designated stock route camp. The town site was surveyed and lots sold in 1851. The breadth of the main street was to enable bullock teams to do U-turns. The settlement was named after early European settler Edward Mansfield and developed as a commercial center for the many small gold mining settlements established to the south in the 1850s. After the initial gold rush, Mansfield settled down to become a service center to a grazing, farming, and timber-getting community. One of the timber-getters who worked in the area for 2 or 3 years, following his release from prison in 1874, was Ned Kelly, Australia's most notorious bushranger and perhaps its best-known figure. We now go to Bonnie Doon on the beautiful Lake Eildon to see the famous Kerrigan house, well actually summer house, from the hit movie The Castle, made in 1997, where Michael Keating played the father, Daryl Kerrigan. Oh, the serenity. Our second trip out of Mansfield is going to take us up and learn some history of Ned Kelly, look at a couple of pubs, and then we'll see a few huts on the way back. As soon as you pass the Tommy pub, you're going to turn left up the Tatong-Tommy Road to Stringy Bark Creek. It was here, at Stringy Bark Creek, Ned Kelly became an outlaw with his brother Dan and 2 friends, Steve Hart and Joe Byrne. In 1878, 4 police went into the Wombat Ranges to capture the Kelly gang. 2 constables, Lonergan and Scanlon, and Sergeant Kennedy, all died in the gunfight. Constable McIntyre survived and returned to Mansfield, where a £500 reward was offered for each man in the Kelly gang, dead or alive. The original Tang Tong pub was weatherboard and was built in the 1880s. It was destroyed by fire in 1923, and both the inside and outside of the building continued to change, with many alterations having been undertaken over the years. In 1880, fed up with life on the run, the Kelly gang planned an attack on the Victorian police at the town of Glenrowan. On the 26th of June, 1880, the gang rode to Glenrowan, where they destroyed part of the railway line. They murdered a man, Aaron Sherritt, knowing that police would send reinforcements from Melbourne by train. They then planned to derail the train and ambush any survivors. While they waited for the train, the gang forced the townspeople from their homes at gunpoint and took them to the Glenrowan Inn. But one resident of Glenrowan flagged down the approaching police train, warning the police of the planned derailment. At around 3 a.m. on the 28th of June, 1880, officers from the train surrounded the Glenrowan Inn. The Kelly gang, realizing their original plan had failed, put on their own, now famous, homemade armor and prepared to fight. The police began to shoot as the gang stepped out of the inn. Joe Byrne was shot and killed, and stray bullets injured many of the hostages inside the building. Dan Kelly and Steve Hart came back to the inn and kept shooting at the police. This created a diversion while Ned retreated into the bush behind the hotel and circled around behind the police. At dawn on the 28th of June 1880, Ned came towards the police from behind and began shooting. He was shot in the leg and captured. The siege kept going for hours as Dan Kelly and Steve Hart were still inside the Glenrowan Inn. They let their hostages go later in the afternoon. The 2 men were then either shot by police or shot themselves to avoid being captured. Ned, the only surviving member of the Kelly gang, was tried for murder in Melbourne and found guilty. He was executed at Melbourne Jail on the 11th of November 1880. We're now going to head into the King Valley and go past the small towns of Greta, Moyu, on our way to Whitfield. The Valley View Caravan Park appears to have a variety of accommodation available for people to stay and discover this fabulous area. The King Valley is renowned for its great food and wineries, but large numbers of Italians, Yugoslav and Spanish farmers entered into the tobacco growing industry during the post-war years. There are many tobacco sheds throughout the area. Cheshunt has a population of just over 200. It has a general store and a bakery. We're going to continue straight ahead to Paradise Falls. Unfortunately, there is no water running today. William Hovell takes its name from the Australian explorer William Hovell, who trekked through this region in 1824. Construction of the dam was completed in 1973. We leave William Hovell Dam and head south on the Evans Creek track, which will bring us into Evans Creek Hut. Tomahawk Hut was originally built in 1927 by the Forest Commission as a base for road building crews. It was rebuilt in 2007. It now serves as a fantastic visitor site. Looks like one of the hunters left something behind for the wild dogs. We keep heading south on Carter's Road until we come to the Delatite River. Then we're going to head down to Fry's Hut. We leave Carter's Road and turn right on the Mount Buller Road, and then we're going to turn left into Hawkwa Track and take us down to Sheepyard Flat. Across the road from Sheepyard Flat, you'll take the road down to Fry's Hut. Master bushman Fred Fry built his riverside high country home in the late 1930s, using split timber and his own personal style of workmanship. He erected many huts in the region, including Jamieson Hut, Ritchie's Hut, Gardener's Hut, and Noonan's Hut. This hut is a rare example of drop slab, or split timber construction. Fred Fry cut all timbers by hand, using his horse to haul the big roof timbers into place over the A-frame with big long chains. Time to leave Fry's Hut and head to Jamieson. We're then going to go to Woods Point, Matlock, and make our way to the gold mining town of Walhalla, and then finish at the Tressle Bridge at Noodgee. Tobacco Flat is a popular campground and not far from Fry's Hut. It's quite a climb up the Hawkwa Hills track, but then we're going to come out on the Starners Road. This brown snake was warming up in the mid-morning sun. When you get onto the Mansfield Woods Point Road, you'll see the Hawkwa Valley Holiday Park on Lake Eildon. Jamieson's roots can be traced to the 1860s, when the first settlement of around 300 people started working in the goldfields. The town grew quickly and already had churches, banks, hotels, and a school by 1865. Development peaked in the 1870s when the town had around 3,000 residents living in it. The Kevington Hotel was established in 1862 and is the last remaining example of a Gold Rush era hotel in the region. From Jamieson, there's lots of fantastic campgrounds right on the Goulburn River. The town of Woods Point began as a general store built by Henry Wood to service the gold diggings around the recently discovered Morning Star Reef. Woods Point Post Office opened on the 1st of December 1862. By 1864, only 3 years after the discovery of the Golden Reef, the area became a thriving town with 36 hotels. We leave Woods Point and head to Matlock. There's not much left in Matlock, but it was the highest township in Victoria. The first post office opened here on the 1st of January in 1872. It finally closed permanently in 1967. This is the Thompson Dam that provides the water to Melbourne. We keep heading south along the windy road to Walhalla. Walhalla was founded as a gold mining community in 1862. And at its peak was home to around 4,000 residents. As of 2023, the town has a population of 20 permanent residents, though it has a large proportion of houses owned as holiday properties. This is the old post office and telegraph station. Time to go on a gold mine tour. What became known as the Long Tunnel Extended Gold Mine was first started by Hercules United Gold Company in 1863. After 8 long years of hard work, the company collapsed without finding any gold. The mine was then taken over by the Long Tunnel Extended Company in 1871. The new company looked in the opposite direction and found a huge reef. The company then built large machine chambers supporting 3 huge Cornish boilers, ventilation shafts and flumes, while sinking the main shaft eventually reached a depth of 900 meters. This mine soon became the second most productive mine in the area, producing over 13,695 kilos of gold until it closed in 1911. The Long Tunnel Mine was Victoria's 5th largest gold mine during the colonial era. Time to go for a train ride from the Walhalla station to the Thomastown station and return. We leave Walhalla station and run through the bush alongside Stringer's Creek, arriving at Thomas station for a short stay before we reboard and return back to Walhalla station. Adults are about $35 and the return trip is $40. Families are about $70 return.
They missed the rod in left-hand turn of the toilet. Now the dogs leave. And you wait here, see? Oh, now it's looking that way.
Yeah, I just looked down there. Pretty cool.
Got to stop at Wally's pub for a drink after the train ride. It's time to leave Walhalla and head over to Rawson before heading up the Mount Baba tourist road and making our way to Noodgee. Unfortunately, the Heritage Centre was closed. The Noodgee Bridge is a legacy of the old railway that ran from Noodgee to Argyll. It was originally constructed in 1919. All 7 bridges were damaged or destroyed by bushfires in 1926 and in 1939. In 1939, it was completely burnt down and rebuilt the same year. A little bit further down the road, you're going to come to the Adder tree, which is one of the tallest trees in Victoria and is a mountain ash. It's estimated to be over 300 years old and one of Victoria's largest trees, at 76 meters tall and has a circumference of 15 meters. Thanks for watching another Klein adventure. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you on the next one.